Hey guys, this is Sea Piper here, and today we're going to go through a battle replay. This is a 2 versus 2 battle. It's myself and Thor, player called Thor from the Outlaws clan. We're playing against Heaven Cornovi and HBG Numidian Centurion. So everyone here is a really good player. I've not actually played HBG before, but I know I think they're a 31k clan. But anyway, this game's actually fairly laggy. It's actually a KWR game, which is effectively 60k denarii each, and only Roman factions allowed. And the same rules apply as in 31k. Excuse me. So maximum 6 cavalry. So the scale's actually huge as well. There's a lot of soldiers in this battle. So 31k is a lot like KWR. Obviously urbans are very, very powerful, and hopefully I'll be able to give you some tips and advice throughout this video. I also apologise, I've got a slight cough today as well, so my voice isn't the best, but I'll do my best to commentate on this battle, and hopefully you can take some tips and advice from it. So we'll go through some of the armies. I have 5 Legionary First cohorts. They're gold full upgraded. I have 3 Praetorian Cavalry full upgraded, and 12 Urbans full upgraded. Heaven, rather OUTLAWS-THOR, has gone with 4 Cavalry, 2 Legionary First, and the rest Urbans. Cornovi, who has gone Brutii, he has 1 Legionary First and 3 Cavalry. If you look at HBG Numidian, he's actually gone with more of a 31k army. He's got 6 Cavalry full upgraded, and no Legionary First. So I've only played a couple of KWR battles before. What I've always found is the first battle I played, I found that having too many cavalry is a disadvantage in KWR. You tend to find that because urbans they're full upgraded, they have a lot more morale and a lot harder to break, which means they're a lot more powerful in KWR. Cavalry tends to tire faster trying to break urbans. So cavalry is important in KWR, but you shouldn't bring as much cavalry in KWR. Also, you tend to find that having the huge scale in KWR makes the Legionary First more powerful. You should definitely bring more Legionary First in KWR. So I played this battle 3 days ago, and I was trying to sort of deciding whether to upload it or not, because it is quite laggy. But hopefully Steam sort out the problem with the lag servers. There's a petition going on that was started with, I think it was Hannibal Barker. So hopefully the lag that we're seeing right now won't last that much longer. So at the front I have 2 Urbans in loose formation, and they're throwing the Pila at HGB. My third ranking has 3 Legionary First cohort, and I have 1 in the back in the centre, and another one in the final line, and my general will be in the centre as well. Again, different strategies involved in KWR. Essentially, from what I've learned, you play in a similar way as in 31k, but you make alterations to your playing. Tiredness is a lot more important in KWR than 31k. The key with using guard mode, if you use guard mode on your troops, they don't tire as fast as they would do if they weren't in guard mode. So it means when you have units in guard mode, they won't do that much damage, but they won't tire, which means that they'll take damage earlier on, but they can attack the enemy when they're exhausted later. So what I'm doing here is I've thrown some Pila at HBG, put these guys into Testudo, and that's to make peeling, that makes HGB, when he tries to throw Pila at me, more difficult. In order for him to get shots, he's got to manually target the troops at the back. I think Thor did the same there. The only thing with Thor is I think he's a little bit exposed. There was a time at the start of the battle, I think they move forward a little bit, they become slightly vulnerable. I did the exact same thing, I made that mistake. In these battles, it's whoever makes the least amount of mistakes. There's an element of luck as well involved. So we've got Heaven Cornovi. He's got a unit of Urbans in Testudo. I saw these Urbans run forward. I ran forward to throw Pila, and unfortunately he was able to put his troops into Testudo quite fast. So that was well played by Cornovi. I think it's actually here that Thor does this. That unit's a bit far forward, quite exposed, and Cornovi there putting his troops into guard and Testudo, and that's really important in KWR. What I've learned, guard mode is very powerful, and guard mode with Testudo is very powerful as well. So you can see there, Cornovi brought forward a unit of Urbans, and these guys have actually outflanked that unit there. So they're actually exposed. So well done to Cornovi by seeing that disadvantage. Thor's moved straight forward again. You tend to want to have your front ranking loose. So Thor's actually a bit exposed here. These guys should really be in loose formation. And as soon as you throw the Pila, get them into Testudo and guard mode. Outflanking is not. It can be powerful in KWR, but not as much as in 31k because cavalry is less powerful in KWR. So check back my army. Got my 2 Testudo units there. These guys have thrown some Pila. I think it KHGB. We've got a cavalry charge there by HGB. That was a good assault on the Testudo. It won't be that effective though. Cavalry attacks against a single unit like this are not that effective. He did get some, I think it was about 20 kills he got there. These guys should have came out Testudo and attacked with guard mode, and I was slow throwing the Pila there. So that was a good charge there. Check out the centre. Thor, I think Thor did a counter charge against the Urbans that routed one of his units there. He's lost quite a lot of cavalry from that though, and Cornovi's brought forward some of his Urbans. Don't know if Thor's throwing Pila there. He had a chance here to get some Pila shots in. And quite a nice strike there by Thor, but again, attacking straight on like that. He will do a lot of damage, and that will be worth the assault. However, he really wants to attack behind and try and rout that troop there. but damage was done. So right there, HGB moved his troops to the left there, being able to get some peeler shots in. My whole front rank is in loose. Also like to say that I think lag was an issue in this game, so not everyone was in control of the troops at all times. I know that Numidian did say that he had trouble controlling his units at that point. So if any mistakes do happen, a lag plays a big part in my opinion. So here we have one of my troops there in guard mode and testudo, moving those guys forward. They are slightly exposed, they're vulnerable to the cavalry assaults there, but as said before, direct attacks on with cavalry, because these urbans are fully upgraded, they're not really that prone to routing. It's only when those guys get exhausted or tired they're going to rout badly. So here we have moved my troops forward there, and I'm actually targeting the units at the back there. So those guys got 20 kills on that urban unit there. Those guys weren't in loose. So that's a danger of letting the enemy get too close. Check out what's happening left flank. We've got Cornovi, who's actually spaced out his troops. He's got a segment there, and he's got another segment at the back there. These guys are in quite good formation, so he's trying to entice Thor to outflank. You can counter flank, and again, right here I have the advantage right there. My guys are in guard mode and testudo, so it's pretty powerful in KWR. I think it's about here that Numidian said that he was lagging out quite badly. So give him the benefit of the doubt here. He's trying to control his army the best he can. So we're going to fast forward this. You can see Thor doing a side-on attack there. It's a side-on attack by Thor. He's actually moving around there. So this is on fast forward, so it's probably about 1 frame per second. But if you look at the right hand side of the screen, it's a very long battle. So Thor's on the right hand side. I've moved forward my second rank. So what we'll do is we'll play this, and we'll see. Let's pause play. Okay, these guys are all throwing Pila right now at HGB, so they're getting some good shots in. If you look at his, it was that unit there and that unit. Both units were in guard mode with testudo, well, at least testudo. My troops marched forward and nudged his troops, and they actually came out of testudo mode. That sometimes happens. Also, HGB has a unit marching forward there. And again, Thor's let one of his urbans get surrounded there. That's the danger when you've got troops in testudo. You need to watch where they end up, because they don't have the movability being out with testudo. So I've got about 6 units there in testudo, and I see the charge come in, and I move forward my urbans, and they're going to peel us some of those cavalry hopefully. Because he is getting some kills there. He's not annihilating the troops though. These guys are doing damage to the cavalry. Plus the cavalry is getting tired as well by doing those charges. Thor's on a charge against Numidian in the centre there. That was a good charge there. Again, the game was lagging a bit as well, so it's not always possible to do the microwing at the same extent as before. Excuse me. Have a glass of water, I think as well. That's better now. So got a counter charge there by Thor, catching a unit of Urbans there and forcing Numidian to retreat. A lot of my guys are in Testudo, but they're close together, and we have the Urbans there in loose formation, and they're also using their Pila against the Urbans at the back. So again, fast forward this. We'll put it on semi-fast. So we have Cornovi making a better line. If Thor was throwing Pila at these troops, they're in tight formation. So if he's got any Pila here, that'd be a good target to use it against. So it's about we've probably got the slight better upper hand now in this battle. A lot more of our Pila has done damage, and there's another cavalry charge there by HBG rather. So I think I might actually rout one of the units there. That's quite a lot of cavalry. It's a little bit vulnerable on this side. So he's done quite a lot of damage to that unit of Urbans. And his cavalry's still relatively fresh. So there's some good cavalry strikes there. So fast forward again. So it's probably about 50-50 still in this battle, and there you see one of the cavalry charges just right to the unit there, and he's gone for the second one. We did actually get some good Pila throws in there. I made the biggest mistake here that I made in the whole battle. I threw Pila at the cavalry, but unfortunately I misjudged it and I lost control of the two units. Again, the lag issue in this game, but it's quite important to hold on to these units there, so I counter charge on my cavalry, and I also take out some units out of Testudo and guard mode to charge in to try and save these units there. I also tell Thor to counter charge as well at the same time. You can see Cornovi is a good player. He also brought forward some Urbans at the same time there. Scipio has 6 cav, I have 3 cav, and Cornovi has 3 cav as well. So I was actually outnumbered there, but I did get some good shots, some good damage against the cavalry and infantry. Probably made a mistake there. I should have pulled out sooner as well. Again, if you pull out, you run the risk of your cavalry routing. I pull out there, but I was also conscious of the fact that I had Urbans already engaged in this area out of formation, and you can see there that counter charge there by HGB has done a lot of damage to myself and Thor. A lot of units routed there. So that was a really good counter charge there by Numidian, and at this point it's kind of 50-50, probably in favour of Heaven and HBG. Got a massive clump here of Urbans and Legionary First, and everyone knows that in 31k having your units clump like this is bad. This in a regular 31k battle, this would be very, very bad. However, this is huge scale, and the Urbans are maxed out. They have 3 chevrons on. I have 5 units of Legionary First in the centre. These guys are not going to rout very, very fast. It's going to take a lot to rout these guys, and that's where cavalry is less effective in KWR. Again, massive cavalry strikes there by HBG. You look at my cavalry, significantly damaged there. Thor is doing a side-on attack. against Cornovi. I'm fighting some of Cornovi's troops in the centre, and I'm fighting all of Scipio's troops in the right flank, and the cavalry as well. I think there might also be some of Cornovi's cavalry left as well. So I've directed my cavalry in the right flank, going to try and gain some advantage over here. There's a massive bottleneck in the centre. So yeah, we're using our cavalry in the right flank, trying to smash these urbans here. Thor is now on the receiving end of HBG, and you can see Thor slightly out formation as well here. There's little, if you had a line here of urbans just to sort of make a base, you could repel the cavalry. But again, probably 6 cavalry in KWR is probably slightly too much, but they have been very, very devastating. Numidians used his cavalry very well in this battle. Okay, Thor pushing forward here, left flank. He's going to get surrounded by Cornovi, but he's doing some good damage there. He's getting kills in, but he's running the risk of his army getting wiped out. Quick routes are hard to get in KWR, so when these guys come round, the cavalry and the infantry is going to do a lot of damage. We're winning the right flank. I bottlenecked all the Scipio up, and I'm doing the best I can with the Legionary first. But throughout this battles, we were very conscious of the fact that if Scipio outflanked with his cavalry, be in serious trouble. I do have units in reserve here, and I can pull these guys back. But again, if you look at the cavalry's very very tired. So these guys will soon be exhausted. So you look at the left flank. Thor's in a bit of trouble now. He did a good job by outflanking, but unfortunately Cornovi is now going to surround Thor with his urbans and his cavalry there. There's also Scipio with his cavalry. So we're massively outnumbered in the cavalry. I don't have any cavalry left. I put the rest of my cavalry in there to try and get some routes against the side of the urbans. You can see here a gap's opened up on my side that needs to be blocked off. So I brought forward one of my units in reserve there. I saw almost a full strength urban unit, and I have 1 unit of cavalry left, 5 horses in that. You can see Thor's been outflanked almost. He's holding out though. He's getting some kills. I'm peeling off a unit of urbans in reserve. They're going to try and help Thor there. He's got a unit of urbans that came back from routing. Got these guys out with guard mode. These guys need to get some kills fast. And that's the thing about KWR. You want to try and use guard mode to try and slow down the enemy. You take units out of guard mode when you want to get kills fast. So we need to help Thor fast here. So these guys are out with guard mode, and they're getting a lot of fast kills against Cornovi, who's now outflanked himself. So if you just check out the whole army, there's still a lot of troops left. I'm Julii, Numidian, Scipio. So we're doing well to hold out here, but there's still a lot of troops here on the left side. My last unit of cavalry, I chose to attack the armoured general. I don't think the general's in that unit there, but it's 1 unit of cavalry that's getting held up. And that was a great charge there by Scipio, HBG. He charged into Cornovi, and he's actually routed a lot of Thor's troops there and 1 of my urbans. At this point, before that charge went in, I told Thor to put everything they had to direct it against the cavalry, because because he has more chance to rout the cavalry now they're exhausted. And you can see here I have a slight outflank on Scipio, and I'm getting outflanked myself by Cornovi. I think this is probably the changing point in the battle. When cavalry become exhausted, they can rout very, very easily. Urbans are better than cavalry, 1 versus 1. So if you can get an attack against cavalry with urbans that are relatively fresh, I mean these guys are fresh, those guys will rout. So there's a gap here. So in the battle, I actually try to get these guys forward. It's a legionary first. It's almost full strength. The battle is very tight now. So we're pushing these urbans, the legions, forward there. So that legionary first is pushing forward. It's actually in guard mode. It's going to attack the cavalry. I want it to push forward. And if you have units in guard mode, they'll be more prone to follow orders. So I told these guys to go forward in guard mode. So at least some guys are getting forward. So I want to take out the cavalry. So we've got a bottleneck here, Scipio and Brutii, charging for this unit there. They're fresh, and we're going to prevent the next charge there. So we've done a lot of damage there to the cavalry using that unit of legionary first. Still a lot of legions left in the centre, but we've done a lot of damage here to the cavalry. We've got some urbans at the back, so the cavalry's gone for a charge. I said before, these urbans are fresh and maxed out in the chev, so it takes a lot for them to break. So they're not going to break by that kind of charge. But we're going to try and rout the cavalry there. So we peeled off some units there. We're going to hit the cavalry. And because the cavalry are exhausted, they're going to rout. So we've got 3 units there that are routed, and 1 left. So we now have an outflank on Scipio. Brutii is pretty much done. But the key here is my troops a lot of them are fresh. Some are winded, some are warmed up. We haven't done that much attacking, so our troops they have a lot more energy than Scipio. So we're going to use that to our advantage. So these guys will be attacking now. So we've got units at the back attacking. These guys are out with guard mode. These guys are attacking. These guys are doing a lot of kills. So these guys are exhausted. The general's died, and we're going to gain the outflank now, the surround. So we have the upper hand now in this battle. You've got Brutii that has 1 unit cavalry exhausted left. You can see there, already got some routes, and there's going to be a mass rout soon, hopefully, because there's attacks from the front and back. So that was a win for us. So again, hopefully you've enjoyed that battle. You picked up some tips and tricks on KWR. Certainly well played to Cornovi and HBG Numidian. It was a very close battle. It could have gone either way at the end there. So that was well played by everyone. Again, some tips to remember for KWR in the future: don't bring too many cavalry. I'd say bring 2 or 3, probably 3, and make sure you bring 4 or 5 legionary firsts. So if you remember those tips, you'll do well at 31k. So that was a close victory. I had 2,989 kills. Thor had 2,676 kills. Numidian had 2,900 kills, and Cornovi had 3,220 kills. So thanks for watching. This is COH Piper signing off.